Sergeant Moo, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard, an unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the...
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor... Who is Inspector Navet?
Ah, the most promising young investigator on the force. A genius, a man blessed with almost super...
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators...
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene.
I witnessed the crime. I've got to get...
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Here's my press card. Do you have a statement?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and always leave a light on when you go out at night.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of...
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission.
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission...
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moo?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. I really need to get into the gallery and speak to
Tut, he is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous science. Any moment now, the case will... I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
This was madness. Sergeant Moo wasn't good. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moo?
I have been working for 3 days with... Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor... If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for...
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about the...
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last...
That incident you mentioned...
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was... I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You...
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are...
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all
The other?
the pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days. There.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappe.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse, the black, sweet...
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophy, and you, Madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels. A nun.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to there.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the... Monsieur,
Life is fleeting, madame. The sands of time are running through.
well, that may be...
We know not what we want, and yet we are responsible.
There's been a crime.
That is terrible, madame. But
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
life begins on the other side. C'est vrai, non?
Well, I guess so. He was pushing me to the point of despair.
During the riots, we battled the...
Oh, really? That must have been terrifying.
It was. Except that they made me stay behind the barricades with the other baristas. We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all...
None of this was helping me get past Sergeant.
Au revoir.
Monsieur,
The road to enlightenment is a long one. Au revoir.
here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took. You must accept my deepest, my most profound...
Well, of course I accept.
La liberté. They grew at the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood... It was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your...
Monsieur,
Madame,
could we have a little chat?
any...
How about some coffee?
For you, madame, there is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and strong. Could you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. Did you see anything happen at the gala?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody...
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the guy.
How close we are to death.
Well, right now I need to get back inside.
I applaud you, madame, to seek...
As a journalist, that is my duty. The waiter didn't need to see my press card again. Sergeant Moore, I brought you a...
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little...
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't...
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot...
So, this incident, it involved you?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite under...
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, En vacances, he went for a private discussion. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake. And so I tied the dog to a tree and went for a sit. When I came back, the dog was having liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, and I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice.
You think so?
But of course, you knew you must not fall asleep at your post.
Well,
It was the same thing.
yes.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate.
Now,
And now France is calling you again. She is saying
she is?
she is. Drink or fall asleep at your post.
I suppose.
Bravo!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door?
Oh, you can count on me, sir. I distracted Moo.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question...
Nico, am I glad to see you.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know.
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. It looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery.
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Malediccio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what this...
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without...
I'll see what I can. Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to... Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence... Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American?
He is deeply suspicious.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
I suppose this is quite a complex case.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more?
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than... Consider the impact of the bullet, and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence, and the bloodier, the better. Are you Hector Lane?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels?
I'm Nico Collard.
Ah, a fallen angel, then.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful.
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Oh, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your question.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for...
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm...
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the mark. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Have you spoken to...
The American...
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about...
What can you tell me about the
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the other?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity...
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful.
Thanks for your help, monsieur. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Excuse me.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of question?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt.
Did you see anything that might help identify the...
The devil takes many forms, child.
Anything would help.
I am sorry, my dear. My mind was at...
Why did you come to the gallery today?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Malediccio. It was my duty. The painter was El Serp, the Serpent. Don't you...
Evil? So, what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil...
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my... What do you know about Henri?
And if he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what others...
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque.
How can a painting be...
By killing all who come into contact.
Does that mean we're next?
Laugh not at the devil's play.
Do you know anything about the painter, El Serp?
He was a purveyor of blasphemy.
How can you know?
It is clear from his work.
Father Simeon was making a lot of assumptions. This is my press card.
Good. Be sure to...
Thank you for your time. The priest had nothing. I'd never met the gallery owner before, but he sure did. Poor guy. Josh,
Yeah, Nico.
so what do you need to get into?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the
So, what's stopping?
super cop.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you.
That's a deal. Somehow, I had to get the inspector away from the office. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. That wasn't worth trying. Josh,
Yeah, Nico.
you said you needed to get into the office?
And you said you were going to create.
Inspector,
Yes?
have you seen that stain on the floor by the door?
I don't have time to waste this. Please, leave.
Are you certain you don't?
Unless you can show me new evidence.
Do you really think this is a cut?
En effet, cut.
So you think?
As I said, I am not often wrong.
So you don't?
I prefer.
Are you sure you don't?
Please,
Do you know anything about La Malle?
it is a painting.
Thanks. If I was going to distract, and the bloodier, the better. Monsieur Lane,
My,
could you tell me more about the...
if you insist, the whole thing.
Father Simeon says that the painting...
The priest. La Malediction is a painting, and a painting.
So I guess you'll miss...
There is already an Henri-shaped hole.
So you didn't see any...
I'm afraid not.
Do you have any idea?
None at all.
So you and Jean...
No,
Anything else you can tell me about...
it wasn't particularly valuable.
Did I
You did.
Thanks for your... Lane had nothing to offer. At least now the place was a little tidier. I didn't want Moo to see me. Getting in had not been easy. That wouldn't work. I scraped up the chewing gum with... Inspector,
Yes?
I really think you should check.
I told you.
Do you want this chewing gum?
Madame, I do not.
Why are you so...
Madame, I.
Do you really think this is...
En effet,
Do you know anything about...
it is.
Thanks, Inspector. How about that for a distraction? The tomato sauce looked... Inspector,
Yes?
have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots. Interesting. Maybe it.
Okay, George.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know when... I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobbart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything in...
Yeah, someone stole a pen,
Oh, really?
and it was one you insured. What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the...
So,
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief? Wrestled him to the ground? Got myself...
sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some...
I'm working on it. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view them. The poster advertised a 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobster. And there I was. I... A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered... A pair of evil eyes... It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. I didn't need a business card. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked off. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It had probably... I decided to leave it. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket, the ink would have stained my hands. I didn't feel the need to take... I didn't want to carry the tape around. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with...
It was a completion of work notice from a company called... They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form.
Hello, Vera.
George Stobbart here, Paris Mutual.
Never heard of you.
Really? Well, I'm surprised. We're leaders in our field in commercial insurance, and our brand
Do me a favor. Don't call back.
The lady hung up. I was going to have to visit in person. I had no reason to search the desk again. The telephone was an antique rotary. I had no reason. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds. Henri had a model of a VW. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri hadn't set the model van's engine size as the passcode. The statue was jaunty, up close and personal. It was a statue of Henri bearing a strategically placed fig leaf protected his... Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it here. The sofa had... A naked lady stared at me seductively. Henri sure liked his clutter. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malediccio. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malediccio. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable. A good view of La Malediccio. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really to... The moment it all went horribly wrong. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo. That could be used. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I'd got some leads on the killer's identity. A closer look at the painting might be useful. That was the most... Whoever was... Poor Henri. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely... This frame caught the moment the killer took the most striking... That shot must have been before anyone else arrived at the gallery. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I... That was the earliest shot with anything interesting on it. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. The frame containing Henri sure had his... In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company, demanding immediate... It listed extravagant purchases from a... The address indicated it. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are
I wasn't tampering with anything. I was just looking for clues.
That is my job, Monsieur.
Stobbart. George Stobbart. Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really? So, you have plenty to gain from...
Well, no. We have plenty to lose from...
Don't patronize me, monsieur. Only a fool wouldn't know...
Yeah. No flies on you,
Exactly. I have to get up very early in the morning, which means I can be sure to...
So I see.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return...
Of course. But I do need to ask you if...
D'accord. But remember...
Okay, I'll bear... Do you know anything about a company called Vera?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my...
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to...
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, monsieur...
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with...
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary... This is now an official crime scene. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming... Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobbart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure... Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away.
2 coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder...
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside...
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just...
Let me guess.
Exactly. And I... The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words...
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks La Malédiction...
Charles, she's just great.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself.
Yeah?
It's good to see you.
Great to see you too. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve. As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea. The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security.